Hi, my name is Wendy Flores and I'm in Stu's Geometry Advanced Class Block 3. Geometry for me was a very weird course. I had ups and downs, but I learned many things. One of which were the difference between algebra and geometry. In algebra, you always have to follow a certain pattern in order for you to get an answer. You don't really have to think as much. In geometry, I thought it was going to be the same. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know what we were going to do. So coming to this course, I was very sketchy. Like, I didn't know if I was going to succeed. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I was very worried. For me, I have always been like a straight A student. Like, I never really had to study or like practice anything because like I would always understand things fast. Geometry though was very different. Like, it was a roller coaster of emotions, of thinking, of many things. Geometry like made me think more than I had to, made me like try and understand things in different perspectives, different ways. And I feel like that has made me grow more as a person. So some of my strengths in geometry were like Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or how to use radicals in triangles, in equations, in like solving for x. Like, radicals for me at first were like very hard. I didn't know how to use them. I didn't know especially how to use them in special right triangles, which is 30, 60, 90, or 45, 45, 90 triangles. So I didn't really know how exactly that was going to go for me. But now, if I see a radical, I am not afraid of it anymore. Another one of my strengths were using trigonometry, SOHCAHTOA, which is sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent opposite over adjacent. In order to find the angle, you have to use inverse sine, inverse cosine, or inverse tangent to find an angle. Another thing that I learned, or that helped me grow throughout the course, was not just like the math part, but also the social part. Geometry Advanced has taught me how to like trust people, how to work better in groups, how to bounce back from like messing up or from failing. I was always a straight A student, so I never really did studying. So I had a B, I was stressing out, I didn't know what to do. But Ms. Dukes told me that you're always gonna fall off the balance beam. Like, you're not gonna stay there forever unless you work hard for it. And I fell off. It took me a while for me to bounce back up, but I did it. Now I have a B, but I'm working very hard in order for me to get that A again. And I know I can do it. Another thing that really helped me out in geometry was like trusting people emotionally and like with my work as well. So like now I'm closer to a lot of my classmates, and I feel like we have a better bond because of how many times we have worked in groups. So now some of my weaknesses, which was my worst one, proofs. I hate proofs. I hate them, hate them, hate them. They're like difficult for me to understand. Like, I can prove some things, but not as much as I wanted to. Like, when I'm older, like, I want to become a lawyer. How am I supposed to become a lawyer if I can't prove myself in math? Like, math should be an ESO course. Like, math for me was always easy. But coming to geometry, like, it was not. Like, proofs brought me down so many times. And I feel like now, if you give me a proof, I will still hate them. Because I hate them. Another thing that I found very difficult was angles of elevation and depression. Going through the notes, I found it pretty simple. But then coming to IXLs, which has helped me a lot throughout this year, or like doing homework or practice quizzes, like, I always like got low scores on them. I didn't master them. I felt very unconfident of myself. Like, I didn't really have a lot of confidence in my answers and things like that. So I feel that was also one of my downgrades. Another thing was like surface area. Finding the surface area of a house, of a shape, of a compound figure, of regular figures, of like complex figures. Like, it was hard for me. Like, it should sound easy, but it's not. Like, I don't know why, but I'm more of an like algebra type of person, which is like following an equation, following the pattern. But even though geometry has taught me to think outside the box, surface area has also been like very confusing for me, because even though it's like adding different shapes together and finding like the area of each shape and adding that to get the whole thing, it's still very confusing because like one little error can like mess you up. One thing that I really did learn that helped me a lot was getting a decimal is okay. Like, in algebra, I would get a decimal and my answers will always be wrong. Now, I can get a decimal and an answer would be right. And like at first I was like, wait, like I must be wrong, like I'm doing something wrong. but I wasn't, and I found out that it is okay to sometimes get a decimal. Like, it doesn't always have to be a whole number. So, like, geometry for me, I would say, was very weird but very helpful. It helped me grow throughout my freshman year, which was kind of difficult because I was a freshman in an advanced class already. And I'm grateful for taking that class. It has helped me socially and mathematically, and I can't wait to keep taking other advanced classes. So I would like to thank Ms. Dukes for that. Thank you.